how can people begin to change the frequency as they're listening to you? How can they might be thinking, okay, well, I need to, if I have a low vibration, I'm not operating correctly with my partner. How can I begin to raise my vibration? What do people need to do to change the frequency, like you said? How can they do that?
$1 million question. So I love the question because in theory, sounds so simple. It sounds so simple. All you got to do is you do not let your negativity run your life. What does that mean? You can acknowledge fears and anger and disappointment and all that, but you can't let that run your day. You can say, oh, I'm angry, but then that needs to go, and you need to literally focus and live from your higher self, from the unconditional love, from the unconditional happiness. That's where you, from peace, you're supposed to function from peace all the time. So in theory, it sounds very simple. Function from peace, alignment all the time, and you will get better things, and you will get more whatever you want, and life will go, more positively, because that's basically what it is. You are being positive now. This positivity is going to bring you a positive result in the future. That's it. However, when it comes to practical stuff, it gets much more complicated. Yeah. Yes. So I'll say like this, I personally have never met anybody who has done that by themselves. Not because you're not motivated, not because you're not, wish or I'll just say determined enough, but because a lot of us have a lot of blind spots. Right. I'll give you a very simple example of sacrifice for others, especially in women. This is one of the big, or guilt, sacrifice for others, and I'll say overthinking. These are like the biggest plagues of the world, because we are programmed to, I'm supposed to sacrifice myself for my family. I am supposed to feel guilty for the stuff that goes wrong. So now this is something that it's normal to you, and that's, how you react to situation. But that right there is literally what's giving you more negativity in life, and has already brought you to, let's say, the results that you didn't want to have right now. So now that's a problem. Now, how to stop yourself from doing what you're used to be doing for 30, 40, 50 years. Exactly. Yeah. That's the problem. So that's why I'm going to vouch on coaches, because, I have been in and out of coaching for over a decade. And I always see how I'm more advanced. Like even now, I am a coach, but I still have my coach. It's not in a way that my coach is going to consistently give me, I'll say, new knowledge. Yeah, there's always something new. But generally, everything that my coach tells me, I know. So what happens is I am just being accountable. I am being pushed. I am being looked at from an unbiased perspective that can tell me, oop, here, Anya, here you missed a little bit, go back in that proper line, and just kind of having somebody that would help you see, not from your framework or from your glasses, I always say, but, kind of be able to change that perspective so you can see more clearly, because obviously I still have emotions, and everybody have emotions, but that when those emotions come up, they usually fog our rationality or how we're supposed to. And then we start doing it by emotions rather than out of wisdom.
Right. Exactly.
Make sense?
Then it gets blurry. Gets blurry. We can't see what's in front of us.
How many times everybody had that situation, right? I knew I was supposed to later on. Oh my God, I completely messed that up. But in the moment, you're like, it's like you couldn't like change that. And that's why I'm always going to say, if you are really ambitious, if you understand that you have one life, you don't have redos. And then if you want to take on, as in like Alka said, money is tool, then always reinvest in yourself. And that is going to just basically, I'll say, speed up the process of you getting to where you want.
Exactly.
So you don't have to do it by yourself, because we all want to like, oh, I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to learn by my mistakes. And we know that a lot of people don't learn by mistakes. And then sometimes some do, but it's actually the longest path for you to choose. So I always say, don't learn from your mistakes. Next step, learn from other people's mistakes, which will definitely save you some time. Because I always say, right, time is the only thing you don't get back. If you invest or lose money or whatever, you can still make it back. But time, you don't get back. So if you learn from other people's mistakes, it will help you. But what I try to coach my clients is to understand that you don't even have to learn from other people's mistakes, but that there's this, like we started the conversation, this inner alignment piece, like the highest version of your soul that came to this planet that knows everything. So getting to that you react from wisdom every day.